We are human. Life challenges us at every stage. Relationships can end. Family turmoil, illness, the death of a loved one can turn life upside down. Powerful feelings can overtake and isolate us. For that time, when hope seems most elusive, this community agency is a lifeline.
The beginning of Scotty's story is starting with CPC when he was 3 years old, when we knew there was something wrong. He just stopped talking. The expression we use, and a lot of parents use, is he's in his own world, and he does a lot of idiosyncratic behavior, repetitive behavior. And the school started to work towards eliminating that as much as possible.
It took a very long time for Scott to be able to use words in the way that you and I could talk. Once Scott was really able to open up and share more of his own personal world and interests, I think it really enabled CPC to then find ways to help him achieve where he wanted to be.
He learned to cook at CPC. And that got him more verbal also, just learning that little exercise of having to read recipes and then saying it out loud. That's one of the techniques they used to get him to speak. It was just, incredible when you could actually have a conversation with him and it was give and take.
Scott had the opportunity to be somewhere different and do what a boy who is 14, 15 would probably be doing.
Yes, I enjoyed the zoo and I enjoyed the other things.
When you have someone who's severely disabled, that becomes your entire world from the moment you wake up till the moment you go to sleep. If you're not doing something with that individual, you're worrying about them.
CPC Behavioral Healthcare, to me, represents probably what's best about services for children, families, and adults in their time of crisis as a partnership.
When you have a CPC in your life, you're able to expand your own horizons as an individual. Whether it was my wife being able to show her creative side, she loves to decorate and do crafts, or myself being able to start my own business. 2 years ago, he was nominated for the individual achievement for autism in the state of New Jersey, and he won the award. And he went up and he accepted the award. And when he thanked his mother, it was a very touching moment, very, very touching. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but this is very emotional to me. He said, in his talk, he said, "Mom, if you remember, American Idol song was, 'Do I Make You Proud?' And then he turned to his mother and he said, 'Do I make you proud?' That's pretty emotional stuff."
Well, the overall scenario was I was recently divorced with 3 children under the age of 4, working 2 jobs, trying to make ends meet, isolating myself to the point where I eventually got sick with cancer. And at that point, I was so far from my own feelings that I kind of kept them away when I shouldn't have. So I made an appointment one day, and we went down to see Miss Catherine and the rest of the crew, and we started on our journey.
They were in a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos in the family. The children, 2 of them were acting out with some violence towards each other, towards other family members, towards kids in school, towards teachers in school, towards Mom. Joyce felt that she could not control them.
The children became incredibly insecure, very frightened, very anxious, and not capable of getting through the day without worrying about where I was and what I was going through.
So part of the work in this family and with most families is helping to relearn how to communicate effectively so that everyone can hear each other.
My son had a lot of ups and downs, and he went through a lot of emotional changes. I was very relieved that not only did it work for my son the first time, but it also worked a second time with my daughter. She was a little bit delayed in her reaction with my sickness because I got cancer again, a second time. She started showing the same signs as Michael, with reacting and becoming angry and acting out. We went through a family therapy program, which was even more help with the growth of her, for her and for us as a family.
Jackie, the oldest daughter, just burst out crying. And what's most amazing about it was she leaned over and hugged her mother and had been so rejecting and hostile towards her mom prior to that. So it was such an emotional moment for both of them.
The transformations were so incredible and brought us so far that my ex-husband, we'd been divorced for 10 years, he actually started coming with the children and then alone with me and then as a whole entire family. And it progressed to the point where we just got remarried. We are so much the family that we never were. Now we have love, deep, deep love that we just bring across to each other. And the sense of being there for each other is wonderful.
I feel so inspired by them because they're so strong and they're so courageous. And they really were willing to fight to get their family back together. CPC serves so many different populations. It's a lifeline to the community. They can help virtually anybody who wants it, regardless of what their situation is.
As a parent of a disabled child, it's very difficult to deal with, that most people don't realize is, we'll never have a wedding. I'll never have a grandchild. And I think a lot of people who don't have to deal with a disability of a family member don't realize that, of what you're missing. And CPC helps you deal with that and realize that. And that's why I love CPC.
Joyce and Bill are two parents who found compassionate treatment for their families. But there is an unprecedented and increasing need for mental health services in Monmouth County. Since 1960, CPC Behavioral Healthcare has been a beacon of hope for families and individuals in Monmouth County, providing psychiatric care and special needs education to children from 5 to 21, group homes for adults with developmental disabilities, mental health care for children, adolescents, and adults, addiction recovery, and much more. Now more than ever, our work touches the lives of so many. In the end, what we do is about more than simply helping people in need. It's about recharging and transforming lives. Mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, sisters, brothers, to become independent, productive, and successful at home, school, or work. At CPC Behavioral Healthcare, we share a deep understanding that all of us struggle to find the strength and courage to face challenges every day. Of the 635,000 people living in Monmouth County, 127,000 will experience some type of mental disorder each year. Nearly half of those with severe mental illness go untreated. This means that 10,500 Monmouth County residents affected by serious mental illness go untreated.
Every year, CPC helps over 6,000 people in Monmouth County with mental health services. I know that my annual contribution gives hope to someone who otherwise might not have any hope. I urge you to join me and provide a lifeline to everyone in our community. After all, everyone knows someone who struggles with mental health, and I'm sure that you know someone too.